Hey guys, welcome to the Math Tee-cher Channel. My name is Tee Yong and today I'm going to solve some questions related to expansion and factorization of algebraic expression in today's episode. So sit back, relax and enjoy, and let's get started right now. Alright guys, let's read the first question together. So factorize the following: 1/4 x squared minus half x minus 6. Alright, for this question, take note that the coefficient of x squared and x is both in the fraction form. So what we have to do is to actually take out the common factor, right? So previously I mentioned that we have to factorize out the common factor first, but for this kind of question, since the coefficient of x squared is a fraction, we are going to of course take out a common factor in terms of fraction. Alright, so one simple guideline is to make sure that we factorize common factor out first, right? That is the point that I actually reiterate in my previous videos. And the second point for this specifically for this example is to factorize the smallest fraction. Okay, so look at this expression, and okay, the coefficient of x squared is 1/4 and the coefficient of x is half, right? Negative half. So we are going to factorize out 1/4 first, okay, because 1/4 is the smallest fraction. Alright, so factorize out 1/4, I'll get x squared. And what will be the coefficient of x after factorizing out 1/4? That will be negative 2x. How did I get negative 2? So actually it is just negative half divided by 1/4, and this will be equals to negative half times 4 equals to negative 2, right? So just simply take the coefficient of x divided by the factor that you want to factorize, right? And same for 6, the negative 6, which is here. So how to factorize 1/4 out from negative 6? We take negative 6 divide by 1/4, which is equals to negative 24. Right, so we will be having negative 24 over here. Alright, so next we are going to use the multiplication frame to factorize this part of the expression. So the multiplication frame will be like this. Let me just erase my workings. Alright, so multiplication frame, x squared and negative 24. Right, so we will have x and x, negative 6 and 4. So this will be 4x and negative 6x. So these will add up to be negative 2x. Right, so we have 1/4 multiplied by x minus 6 and x plus 4. Alright, so just need to take note that we have to factorize the smallest fraction. And how do we factorize the smallest fraction? So we use the original, for example, negative half divided by 1/4, and also negative 6 divided by 1/4 to derive all this. Okay, alright, so with this, let us move on to the second question. Okay, let us read the second question together. Factorize the following: 2/3 a squared plus 5a plus 6. So take note, the coefficient of a squared is actually 2/3. So what we have to do is to factorize out first. We're going to factorize out the fraction. But in this case, what fraction are we going to factorize out? Right, so in this case, I'm going to pick, okay, is it advisable to factorize out 2/3? So let's say if we factorize out 2/3, right? So 2/3 a squared, what is the coefficient of a now? It will be 5 divided by 2/3, which is equals to 5 times 3 over 2, which is equals to 15 over 2. So this in this example, it is not feasible to factorize out 2/3. Why? Because we are going to have another fraction for the coefficient of a, and later on we have to factorize out the fraction for coefficient of a. So it is not advisable to factorize out 2/3, right? So what what should we be factorizing out then, right? So I'm going to suggest to factorize out 1/3. So 1/3, right? So we are left with 2a squared, because 2/3 divided by 1/3 is actually 2 over 3 times 3, right? Which is equals to 2. Alright, so that's why it's 2a squared. And what about the 5a? So 5 divided by 2/3, which is 5 times, sorry, 1/3. 5 times 3, which is equals to 15. So we will have 15a. And what about 6? So 6 divided by 1/3, that will be 6 times 3, which is 18. Alright, so plus 18. So in this case, we have nice values for all the coefficients right here. So we can actually, the third step will be use the multiplication frame to factorize 2a squared plus 15a plus 18. So 2a squared and 18. 2a. So what's next? It will be 6 and 3. Right, so 3a and 12a. So this adds up to be 15a. So the factorized form is actually 1/3 times 2a plus 3 and a plus 6. So always take note. This is what you have factorized from the beginning. So be sure to write this in. Alright, and this will be the part where we derive from the multiplication frame. Alright, so just to take note, not necessarily we factorize out 2/3, right? So sometimes we actually factorize out like 1/3, for example. So purely it's the denominator. Alright, so we have to make sure that what is left behind in the expression, there is no fraction, so that we are able to perform the multiplication frame in a easier way. Alright, so with this, I've come to at the end of today's video. Thank you for watching. If you feel that you have enjoyed this video and it is valuable in teaching you more about factorization of algebraic expression, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. Feel free to also give your comments or any questions down at the comment section below, and I'll be sure to follow up with you. With this, I would like to thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a good day ahead. This is Tee Yong, signing off.